It's time, baby, for tough love, easy love. Oh, you know what it's time for? Doo-doo. Tough love, easy love. With me, Terry DeFrancisco, and friends. That's right, it's tough love, easy love. I'm so glad to be back with you. It's me, your host, TD, here on episode 3. More rhyming? Maybe, down the line. If you're fine, I won't resign. Here's the deal. We're on episode 3 of Tough Love, Easy Love. And I got to tell you, from my perspective, this is going quite well. Okay, not only do I get to engage with you and talk to people from all across the lands, I also have been seeing from our producers and our podcasting network that this podcast is doing pretty well, which is very exciting to me. I just thought I was a gal sitting in a room hoping for the best. But now that I've gotten some ratings back, you all are subscribing, you all are listening, you're engaging, it's fun. We are in the top 100 of comedy interview podcasts and the very first launch moments of the first week. So let's keep it rolling and see what happens. More on that later when I tell you how to subscribe or follow, but you probably know how. You're already here. So what am I even talking about? Today on the pod, we have Bethany Davey. More on Bethany in just a moment too, but Bethany is a wonderful soul that engaged in a great question and had lots to say about how to handle some things you have to traverse as an adult. That's much easier for you when you're a kid. So more on that when we get there. No spoilers. Here's the deal. Let's say that you want to engage with this podcast and you want to get involved. You want to ask a question. You want to get some advice from the team on this pod. If you do want to get some advice, here's how you do it. Number 1, we've got an Instagram. Go to @ToughLoveEasyLove and send it a DM. Would you slide into my DMs? Does anyone ever ask for that? I'm saying it. If you go to Tough Love, Easy Love and write the team, you can ask an advice style question right there, and me and a pal will help you hopefully solve it with some tough love and some easy love advice. You can decide ultimately which one suits you better, but we will make a determination on which one should win. Now, that said, let's say you're not a DM or an Instagrammer. You can go to this option, which is calling it in, champ. 614-929-5545. Again, that's 614-929-5545. And then you leave it like a 1980s answering machine message, okay? So please leave us a message after the tone and let me know what you need. If you don't like talking on the phone, you can text it too. We'll get it either way, but make sure that it's okay for us to say your name on air and let us know your advice type question. Other than that, and if you're just a listener that wants to listen because you like listening to things and it's your morning drive or your walk around the neighborhood or you're trying to avoid, life by dissociating and listening to podcasts, heard of it? Then I'm glad you're here too. So that's that in a nutshell. Okay, so now Bethany Davey. Bethany Davey is our third guest on the pod. Although I've been banking episodes, I got to speak with her this week and talk to someone I just adore. And I think that she's a unique guest. A lot of the people I've been talking to this season, I've been kind of going back and forth in my brain about who should be on the pod. Like, obviously, you all might know me as a comedy performer or someone that does comedy professionally. And that is an incredible world. And there will be lots of comedy people on here that you probably know and love. And maybe some of you don't know and love, but you know that their work is renowned or fun or celebrated. I also think it's important to not only talk to comedy people. So whether it's old friends or people I know that do courageous or cool shit, or someone I know in real life that just has cool things to speak on, then I want them on the pod as well. So there's going to be a variant group of people on here, a gaggle, if you will, of delightful personalities that may be in comedy, but every now and then maybe they won't be. Bethany is in comedy, but she's not a socials person. This is just a regular, normal, kind human being that also is a stage performer that is adored by our crowds. She's known mostly for short form and long form improvisation at the Nest Theater in Seabus, Ohio, but she's also has been an educator. She's also been a stylist. She's also lived in various places. She's also, she talks a little bit about her field of theology. So there's lots of things to talk through with this wonderful human being. But more than anything, than all those titles and silos that we all fit within, she's just a damn delight. So get ready for episode 3 with Bethany Davey on here. Tough love, easy love. Let's go.
Like, it's something very deep from the belly. Like, am I crying or laughing? I don't know. And I don't need to know.
I agree. I like talking to you off. I mean, this is like
off the record.
Like probably worked a lot. But I mean, like, the thing that I've noticed the most is that people are really responsive to like slapstick right now.
Interesting.
Like really silly comedy is peaking really high.
Yeah.
Really like grounded comedy is like harder for people to watch because it's usually the inverse. Because it's like when things are cool, people are like, give me something to feel. And now right now they're like, fall down, please fall down. Please. Please. Oh my gosh. Which everyone's like, so like they're not regulated.
Yeah.
So there's like, like they don't know what to do. Everyone's so stressed out.
That's actually interesting to think about in the context of last night, because each comic brought a very different energy that allowed like something to come out of us as we were present with them. And Ren's set was very physical in a way that kind of satisfied that, like, I want a silly.
You're clowning a little.
You're clowning a little, but the things you're saying are profound. And so it was like an access point.
I love the switch.
Yeah.
We're talking comedy. Look, we're talking is here.
Talking comedy.
We're talking comedy. What if that was the name of the pod? Talking comedy.
It's never been made before. Talking comedy.
No one's thought of this. Comedians talking about comedy.
They should do a podcast. We should do. Oh my gosh, we did it.
Launch. Like, this is Bethany. Bethany's my friend. We live here in Columbus, Ohio, but Bethany also lived in Chicago, Illinois, in the same time. It's an overlapping time as I did. So we have like these fun commonalities. Bethany, what do you love? What do you miss about Chicago?
Oh, I missed Chicago so deeply yesterday. It's fall. I think it is fall. Even though Chicago fall feels so fleeting that you might have missed it if you don't pay a lot of attention.
Let me tell you, when you miss
it, it's winter. Good luck. But there is something about the crispness of the leaves and the air that makes me just want like a coffee.
Yeah.
And to be walking through our neighborhood in Chicago, the one where we lived for 6 years. And
little crunchy leaves.
Yeah, just crunchy leaves. I just need some crunchy leaves. I need to get on a train. I need to
get on a train.
I need to be a little grumpy. Like a little grumpy in a way that's okay.
I've never thought to ever identify that grumpiness is an aspect of Chicago.
It is.
And it's really charming. So
it's so charming.
I feel like my DNA is more Chicago based because my adult is mostly there. But like, there's a grittiness to Chicago I can identify. It's like friendly grittiness, but I wouldn't have called it grumpy. But there is kind of like who's this guy? It's like, bah! But it's so real. It makes you think that everyone's authentic.
Yeah. Can I give you an example of a grumpy thing that happened to me?
Yes.
So I was walking down Lawrence Avenue, which is a pretty main street in Chicago, and I turned around to see if perhaps the bus was coming or if I had long ago missed it. I walked, as I turned around, headfirst into a metal telephone pole. I wasn't seriously injured, in case anyone's worried, but this happened in front of a passerby.
No.
And so I look at the passerby thinking, I just go, think like, we're going to have a moment, like he just witnessed me do this.
Yeah.
And this to me feels a little bit like the quintessential Chicago grumpiness I'm describing.
1,000%.
He seemed angry with me that it had happened at all. And he just walked out. She's walking into polls. She's looking at me like I'm going to give her sympathy. I'm nothing but annoyed. Keep walking. Keep walking, lady.
Let me tell you. Yeah. Number one, great story.
Thank you.
Number two, exactly right. Like, the idea of kind of being like inconvenienced by someone like, like this is a real story. The first month I moved to Chicago in the late 1900s, and I lived there for a long time. So when I got off, like one of the first public transit days I had, I went downtown to the Mag Mile, name drop.
Oh yeah,
name drop. Sponsored Mag Mile. What if they sponsor me?
Oh my God,
Watertown sponsored me. That's not the thing. But they had like it was super cold, super snowy, etc. At the classic like Chicago winter. So I'd probably been there for like a month and a half at this point. And this woman was on the street and one of the corridors downtown. If you're familiar with Chicago, there's like all these like sort of like tunnels that go straight to the lake. She walked down the street and literally got blown over by a gust of wind. She was older. She got blown over. But I know. It was very America's Funniest Home Videos. Happy. She like tumbled down the street. Was like, whoa! And I was like, oh my God. I panicked because I was not from there. So I was kind of like, this woman. And some guy walks by me and goes, Windy City.
Didn't even, he's like, she's fine. She was Windy City.
Yeah. I think every day, once a month, she's like, the gales of the wind kissed.
Tara.
Right down Randolph.
Oh, Tara, what an introduction. What an introduction
Windy
to Chicago. Windy City.
You got to give it to her.
Watch out.
I don't know what it means. Windy City.
No, I know, which is disappointing because it is really windy.
It's really
I feel like they missed an opportunity or maximized on an opportunity. I don't
just double up. You know it's windy.
In contrast, when we moved to Columbus, I once bumped into a woman who was with many other women. And I said, oh, excuse me. And she turned to me and said, oh, it's fine, honey. And then all of her friends proceeded to also say, oh, it's all right, honey. It's okay, honey. It's okay. They all excused me on her behalf. And I, at the time, I thought, well, that's a lot of excusing. But now I find myself, oh, honey, it's okay. I'm going to sneak on behind you. I've become I've returned to my Ohio roots, I think is really the truth of it.
This is why you're a perfect person for this podcast, because Bethany and I relate in a way that I think that Bethany is you're very kind. You're very thoughtful. You parse out what you'd like to like let someone see and understand and feel as you're giving advice. And my guess is it's hard for you to give harsh advice, even though you may know what it is. Because it's like, I don't want to make them feel X. So you're probably kind of like, oh, you know what? I have an opinion, but let's just pull punch a little bit and like, So I was like, maybe it'll be fun to have Bethany on because she has to give.
Yeah.
That's the recording of Bethany.
Okay.
And also, before we go into any of that, why don't you tell people like what you love about when you do improv, primarily.
I do improv.
What do you love about comedy?
Oh, all the things.
Oh.
So I will say I've been a lifelong watcher and observer of comedy and loving it. AFV, you mentioned earlier, I grew up watching those hot hits and thinking like
AFV as much as they should.
They should shout it out more. We all know what we're talking about. And it just feels like I could feel even then some of this is funny and some of it's not. And I'm serious about it. I was also a pretty serious kid who would not have described myself as a funny person, but I've discovered in adulthood that actually life is pretty funny in its seriousness and truth. And so I've grown to embrace the funny in me in a completely different way. So I do find myself very funny, but I also find other people very funny. And it is one of the, it is probably my top priority in a mate, which I did find a very funny partner.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about that yet.
We haven't talked about it. No, we haven't talked about it. Funny mates, funny people.
Just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it. Just lean in.
Why is that so satisfying in a relationship? I mean, honestly, you should laugh with your person, but it's different to have like an actual, how do I say this? Like Rance and I have a joke that, you know how there's couples in the world that have like one joke and they've had it for 20 years. And we laugh. And you're like, we
laugh.
Can you imagine?
That is such the energy. I know exactly what you mean.
One time Paul carried out a tray of meats for the cookout and he dropped the dressing. So we laughed. We've laughed about that since 2006. And you're like, are you okay?
I know. Probably not. Not.
But like when you have an actual funny partner.
Yeah.
And this community of sorts, if that's not your thing to be partnered, like just the health barometer is up.
Yep.
Your joy quotient is so much higher because almost everything is something that you can find.
Yes.
A sparkly, truth or funniness in.
Yeah.
Because life is insane.
Life is insane. Yeah. And I think that that has been very sustaining for my partnership with Josh to be able to laugh through really terrible things. And I'm not saying that we're, it's not a false positivity or being like, oh, so-and-so. Well, sometimes we do, so-and-so, But we've got 3 kids. It's sweaty at our house. Like also just the world. It's so sweaty.
That was the best description.
It's so sweaty.
Why is it sweaty? You don't have AC.
It's we don't have AC. Emotional AC.
No.
We don't have emotional AC, Tara.
There's kids in the mix.
Yeah, there's kids in the mix. Yeah. There's so many spicy personalities and neuro beautiful. Yeah. Like we are all just like a neurodivergent blob of beauty and chaos. Even the dog is anxious. It's just
that's so beautiful though.
Yeah, but
just to accept everyone exactly as they are.
Yeah,
and to know that that's like the house we're gonna have.
This is the house we're gonna have.
Okay. The description of sweaty is very funny.
It's very.
When I get it, I give you.
Yeah,
like everyone has a little bit of like grit to offer. Yeah.
But the laughter is a sustaining energy throughout. And actually, I have been thinking about this even generationally because there's some generational trauma on both sides of my family, but something on my mom's side that I didn't put words to until recently was that it was always okay to laugh. And their family, she has very funny siblings. She's very funny. There wasn't really such thing growing up as inappropriate laughter. In fact, it was actually sort of the kind that I knew my mom would find the most endearing if I lost control of my own laughter in a very socially inappropriate time.
Yes.
So
the laughter in church.
The laughter in church energy. The laughter at the clown funeral. I haven't seen this Mary Tyler Moore episode, but my mom talks about it a lot. And so so I grew up appreciating it. And then in Chicago, when we were there for almost a decade, and I looked up improv classes. I don't even know how many times.
You never took them.
But I never took them.
In Chicago, which is
in Chicago. Yeah. I couldn't quite, I think the season for me wasn't quite right. I had taken an improv class when I was a freshman in college, and it also wasn't quite right. I wasn't ready to stand in the middle of the quad and be like, let's pretend this is a portal. You know, I wasn't there yet.
To be ever in that era.
It's like I'm very specific. Indiana school.
Indiana.
It was an Indiana school.
Right. Yeah, you've said it right.
Where you had to do that. So, and I had seen you and Rant several times in Chicago. It's so wild to me. And actually, I don't know if you remember, but when you and I first met, I was in level 1 or some early introductory class, and I thought, she's going to know the exact show I'm talking about, which is now funny to me. But at the time, I really thought...
Sometimes I do.
No, but you had said this thing that as someone who grew up in evangelical purity culture, I thought, damn, that's funny. Wow. You, at the end of the show, you just had this quip. You go, abstinence. It's no fucking joke. And
I said that?
You said it. And Tara, it was like chef's kiss, so perfect for the content of the entire show. And so I thought, oh, she's going to remember.
Like,
yeah.
Wait, can we talk about your other life?
My other life. Yeah. Let's talk about it.
What do you want to share about like well-rounded Bethany? Well-rounded Bethany, as she's known, if you're a garbage girl kid. Well-rounded Bethany. It's not a slam at all.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But I mean, like, you do comedy and you're very funny and she's very playful. And like, I also know you as a person that cares deeply about social justice and like reformative care and things like that. But also there's some like pastoral stuff.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Sure. I mean, to the social justice comment that you made, what finally got me to take my initial improv class was I was doing racial justice work, and I was doing racial justice work and was facilitating some racial justice educational and advocacy spaces. And I realized I needed to get better at making mistakes. So that kind of that desire to practice public mistake making, quote unquote, I'm putting it in quotes, y'all, because
that's smart. That's really smart.
Was what finally pushed me to take classes. But racial justice work was also the pathway that brought me to theological school. So I'm in a seminary. I'm a seminary student. I'm a full-time graduate student. Yeah. Getting my Master of Divinity.
What do you plan on? I need the same thing.
Oh, it's such a good question.
What do you want to do with that?
Which is what I thought the question was. I realized before you even said it. I said, that's such a good question. I was like, I can feel it's going to be good.
Not many people know this, but I always went back to school for theology as well. And I love this about you. Was curious about what I would do with it rather than professorial work.
Yep.
So I'm curious what you want to do.
Yeah. I mean, the Master of Divinity degree is very open-ended. it's well recognized across many disciplines and career tracks. So there are a lot of possibilities. The primary things that people will pursue, and I will get to my response about myself.
Please,
pastoral.
Make sure
I'm going to keep
stretch. This needs to be like
riff. Go. So it's like, it tends to be sort of nonprofit work, pastoral work, or professorial work.
That's cool.
So I had the experience of going to school and first class, same as happened to me with improv. I was like, oh my gosh, I never want to stop doing this.
You just know kind of.
It just
find the thing.
Something came alive that had been coming alive for a long time, but it was just like giving it breath. Not categorized, giving it breath.
Yeah.
I do have what they officially call in the graduate school, like the PhD bug. That's the official name. Okay. I do have the bug. I actually want to stop calling it the bug and just claim it. Like, I would like to get a PhD. I would like to get a PhD. And I'm actually applying for PhD programs this semester. I still think of my life in semesters. So yeah.
That's big. Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you. It is big. It's big just to claim it.
And that was really, that's hard.
Just to say,
I want this.
I want this.
Like, maybe I'll think about it. It's like curbing.
For years, I said I have the bug. And it was actually a preemptive deflection because people have a lot of opinions about PhDs. And I felt I didn't want to deal with the rejection because it felt already like such a tiny little tender seed inside of me that I wasn't ready to say it and get particular responses. And now I just feel more like, this thing's kind of rooted in me. So
I'll do it.
Feel what you feel. And that's fine.
That's cool.
I feel more solidified in myself about it. However, I did an internship and was on pastoral staff following that over this summer to cover someone's sabbatical, and weirdly love pastoring. I think there is it's such a holistic, all-encompassing space, particularly in the community I was doing the work in, where it is still academic and there's opportunity to speak, to read, to both be in front, but be in one-on-one relationship, to be working with small groups, to be teaching, to be, it kind of encompasses
everything
that I feel pulled toward.
Yes.
So I feel very in both of these realms. Like I feel pulled toward pastoral work. I feel pulled toward academic work. I think no matter what, I will probably approach with a pastoral element. It just is like a part of myself and in my expression that will come out no matter what field I'm in.
That's cool.
So yeah,
it suits you.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
You're also just so kind.
You
relax. You're so kind, and I feel like this might be a fun transition. That like why do you think you're good at giving soft advice? We'll say that part first. Why do you think you're good at giving soft advice? I know the answer. Excellent at it.
Well, your wording made me pause. I was like, I don't know. For me, what comes up is that I love to receive soft advice and soft comforting, and because there's a tenderness there's this tenderness in myself where I can receive someone's feedback in such a different way if it's nested, if you will, in this name drop Mag Mile. If it's held in this this very relational way. And case in point, I had a horribly unkind, sorry, Marianne, if you're listening to this, I know she's going to listen to it. My piano teacher growing up,
we're doxing Marianne right now.
Yeah, Marianne. Yeah.
Marianne, it sounds like you're a pretty harsh piano teacher.
Yeah, you were a pretty harsh piano teacher, Marianne.
Oh,
cut it out. Cut it in post. Cut it in editing.
Done.
What do you say? Cut it on how do you say it professionally? Cut.
Stop it.
Stop the tape. Stop the tape over and out. Fix it in post. That's what I was going for. Tara, fix it in post. Yeah. Anyway, but you know who you are with your shiny slippers. I could have really loved music. But I think what the problem was Marianne was herself a genius, and it's really hard as a genius and a lover of things to be okay with someone else's mediocrity or interest that is much different. And so
are brilliant, because that is the thing that teachers don't talk about enough.
Yeah.
Educators talk about enough.
Yeah.
I feel like we always see educators that are like, well, why can't they get to this thing? And it's like, you're a teacher, right? Like that's really in the title of what you're supposed to be doing is building a bridge to the other person to understand the path instead of being like, know it, which I think know it is really commanded in PL and know it is not possible without like ways of access.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shane.
Absolutely. Sorry, She was once tapping the beat, and I have an excellent internal sense of meter, so I didn't really need that pen tap.
We know you've all been talking about it, and Bethany
know
to set the record straight that her internal rhythm is great.
It's great. It's great.
Look at that. Give it to that one. Her rhythm is great. See? Look at that. I'm going to say that's wrong.
She whacked her pen against the piano, and it flew across the room, and she just kept tapping. She just kept tapping.
She broke a pen.
She broke a pen. Yeah. So
she shouldn't be a teacher.
She couldn't quite,
hard line.
She couldn't quite understand. It was all or nothing. Then I had, in contrast, this band teacher, Carl Robinson. I will say your full name because I love you with all my heart still, who loved music and invited us to love the music. And it was like an entire world was open to me. And so
that's sweet.
I recognize from that experience and from others that my own reception to because even Carl gave me some hard feedback sometimes.
That's okay.
But
hard feedback from a loving voice
and he loved, and it came from passion and heart and invitation into a thing rather than a punitive lens.
I agree.
And so because I want to receive feedback or advice or care in that particular way, I also offer it that way.
I couldn't agree with this more because I feel like if someone's, this is the way I try to teach, is like, if people know that I care about them, the soul, then critique is not ego driven. It's
absolutely
assessment. And I had coaches like that, like sports coaches. Like that. I had music, like choir teachers and things like that were always kind of like, here's what we have to do. You have to execute.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't think they hated me.
Yeah.
And I often see that people do better in the arts if they've played sports.
I can understand.
Because it's like, you're used to knowing that your ego is not tied to outcome.
Yep.
And so there's like this weird corollary. I don't think that's a thing that people have ever really talked about, but I always think about it more in classes of like, if this person has had any kind of coaching that is not artistically driven, they will probably be better at taking coaching.
That is so interesting, Tara.
People that are more like fluid in their, if they're only an artist, which is awesome too. You're just not used to having someone evaluating you. You're kind of like, screw you, this is mine, which is cool, but it's not like you're not going to have a community being able to evaluate or heighten you because it's not handled by nature.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a really weird thing for art forms that are by nature almost like sports teams.
Yes.
Like improv is basically a sport that is an art.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you're working in community.
I agree with that. I love that. I mean, I have to just disclose that my sports experiences were limited to community soccer twice, where I scored a goal and someone else's
a wiffle ball.
But I was also a cheerleader, and it is a sport. I stand by that. It is a sport, and it was very collaborative, and we got a lot of feedback, but also within an environment that was like, well, and I never cared who won. Sorry, team, but I just loved.
You're cheering either way.
I'm cheering either way, Tara.
My personality in a nutshell.
It is. I'm cheering either way.
I had this coach when I was a kid. I wanted I wanted to play basketball so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the kind of person that like after dinner I'd go out and like shoot hoops like 2 hours. Be like, I'll play now.
Oh, Tara! How old was little Tara in this?
I think it's my entire.
Oh, Tara!
Just don't worry about it. Here's the deal.
I can't.
I love basketball. I love the balls. I loved watching like college basketball. I loved it, and I am not good at basketball. Okay, I like free throw line. Put me on it. I will sink every single thing.
Yeah.
If you make me
what's your limit? Oh, it's the movement.
It's the movement. It's like if I'm not fast.
Yeah.
I can hit things from angles, but like as far as like ball handling, okay, and whatever. And I had this coach that was like, "I'm going to tell you something. You can make this team and sit on the bench the entire season, or you can not play and do something else." And I was like, "Oh," and she was like, "You're good, and I can get you there, but you're not You're not like, you used to have like high school varsity.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I get the difference. So I was short. I was also short.
Yeah.
I wasn't speedy enough to be like a or whatever. So it was kind of like, okay. So she told me that and she was kind. So I heard it and I was like, I think she's right.
Yeah.
And then I started doing like comedy and theater and it changed. If she hadn't told me that, I wouldn't. You would have done theater.
Yes.
Because I was kind of like, I think I like this other thing too, but the season's always conflicted.
Yes.
You know? So like you can't play sports and do a musical or whatever. It'd be like, you couldn't, they're in costume.
So that was your moment. That was a huge moment for you.
And I would have never even thought to like not do the natural, like, of course I'm going to play sports or whatever it was. But if she hadn't said that, she wasn't brave enough. She was really kind and really honest. And she was like, you can do this, but you won't play. And I was like, oh.
That's so caring.
I thought so too.
Even though she was saying a hard thing.
Yeah.
And how brave of you also to receive it. You really thought about it.
Other sports. I was better at other activities. I had like a natural inclination to like lead or gather. So I think she saw like, you could be on this team and everyone would love you.
Yeah.
You won't get a lot of time.
Yeah. And the way you loved basketball, or maybe still love basketball. It might have been sad.
Yeah. But it was not like, I think because someone had the bravery to be like, maybe this isn't for you on a blank level.
Yes.
Like it's for everyone. Yeah. It's about comedy. Comedy's for everyone, but like you don't have to be a professional performer for it to be worthwhile or
absolutely
you. But someone has to tell you.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So like tough love is hard for me too, but then I realized there's gateways. Of like, if you give someone like frank advice, then maybe you're like opening a door.
Absolutely. What an old adage. Close a door, a window opens, or whatever it is.
That's probably
it's probably exactly right.
Open those windows. That's it, right?
Those doors are rotating.
Look.
But what a beautiful way to frame that too.
I think so too.
Yes.
Shout out.
And it feels very invitational, which tracks with the energy we've been talking about too.
Total. I love it. Okay. Yeah. So this is the pre-talk. That was it. 6 hours left. Here's the real thing. This probably won't be as hard.
Yeah.
We kind of covered the why. But here's how the podcast goes. Okay, I'm going to give you a question submitted by phone or by email or DM.
Great.
To, whatever. And they're going to ask you for advice type question.
Great.
Okay. You're going to give the easy love version. And then I'm going to ask you for the tougher love version.
Okay.
And then at the end, if we think there's a clear this one, we declare it. And if not, we say it's a blur.
Oh, I love this. Okay.
Okay. From Instagram user Meg Gallio Williams.
Okay. Hi, Meg Gallio Williams.
Obviously.
Good to be here with you.
Full name. Not beeping it. How do I make friends as an adult? It's hard. Easy love.
It is hard.
It is hard.
No
one talks about this enough. And let me tell you something. People are gatekeeping.
Gatekeeping friendships.
People are gatekeeping. Well, they're gatekeeping like that. Everyone doesn't know what they're doing.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Stay friends with people. If you stay friends with people, it's easy. But if it's like, when you're like 25 specifically, I'm going to call 25. If you're 25 and you have a traditional or like kind of a path that led you through like an educational system or collegiate life or whatever, 25 seems to be this year for so many people where they're like, I think I'm supposed to know what I'm doing. It's like,
oh my gosh.
They can rent a car.
Yeah. There is something about the car rental that makes it feel different.
It's like the last birthday that's
my
fun.
Frontal cortex is fully developed.
And now I'm supposed to know what I'm supposed to do. And then you're like, how do I make friends? And you realize that no one knows how.
No one knows.
Because you don't have like a year. It's not like, I'm in 5th grade. Me too. You like soccer? Yes.
Yeah.
Shake hands, go.
Yep.
No one talks.
Absolutely.
So what's your soft advice for how do I make friends as an adult? I don't know how.
Oh, my soft advice is I would invite you to be curious about.
Ooh, that's a nice.
First and foremost, yourself. I think it can be really helpful to have a sense of your own interests and what are the things that I don't want to say drive you. Can you repeat the person's name for me?
I'll try. Meg Gallio Williams.
Meg Gallio. Okay, I'm going to call you Meg. I'm sorry if that's offensive because I've shortened it.
MGOW.
MGOW, I would invite you to be curious about yourself and curious about a couple of things. Not only curious about your own interests and the kind of perhaps activities or activities you would tend to gather around. I think there's like a logistical level that's sort of interesting to consider of what am I into? You know, am I a board game person? Am I a dog person? Yes. Do I want to be with other dog people or other board gamers or other people who are LARPing?
You like dogs?
Are you in Meg? Dogs? What I'm asking you is, how do you feel about dogs? Because if you are into dogs, I also know someone named me who's into dogs.
I like dogs.
So there's that logistical piece. I think also as we enter into adulthood, there are some other interesting questions that are important for us to ask ourselves about what is important to me in a friend. What does friendship look like? Does it look the way that I understood it in high school?
Yeah.
After high school, in adulthood, you know,
evolve.
Exactly.
How does it evolve?
My experience has been that my sense of friendship has evolved over time, and as my own sense of self and community has evolved over time. That friendship has also mirrored that. And there have been, to be honest, there have been friends from earlier in life where sometimes that relationship doesn't quite fit later, or sometimes it circles back and fits in this new way that I never would have expected.
Reason, season, lifetime.
Reason, season, lifetime.
You know that expression?
I don't, but I loved it so much I repeated it. For a season or for a lifetime. I have a friend.
Like, we know each other through work. Reason.
Yes.
We know each other this year. Season. Like they're forever. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there are two sort of curiosities I would invite you to, Meg, before even thinking you need to act, but just curiosity about what you might like to be doing with friends and what a friend is to you and how you show up as a friend. That's also a really important question to ask. Who am I as a friend?
And honestly, the way you said that, if we had said it differently, it might be tough love of like, what are you bringing something?
Yeah.
I didn't even think of like, you're saying it that made me
that feels softer.
Yeah.
Or feels like both an invitation into considering
that. Someone need to consider what they want out of friendship is like an interesting part of this question, because I think you're right. Like as a younger person, because now I'm 92.
You look excellent for being in your 90s. Really, like you probably could have a lot of salve.
But I want a lot of salve. As much as I can get. I dipped myself in a salve.
Oh, don't we all?
I had to do. I think there's like a challenge that when you're younger, I felt like being a good friend to someone meant showing up anytime they needed me.
Agreed. Agreed. I also
was like, what do you need? I mean, that meant like being check available, being available at all points.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I'll drop anything to be at your side. I still think if it's crucial, that's still the case.
Yeah.
But I've also come to this part as an adult now where I'm like, I don't think I need to see someone so much for me to think that our friendship is valid.
Yes.
And that might just be that my life is more complicated and busy than it was when I was 28. And they're just like, I can come over. Whatever. It's not as easy to drop everything and get to someone unless it's a true emergency.
Yes.
But I feel like that's something that I've recognized now is I have friends I can see, every 3 months, and it's like no time has passed or even a year or whatever.
Yes.
Oh my God, we just picked up where we left off because the core is so true.
Yes.
There's no need for the minutia of the detail.
Yep.
And if we do get detail, it's a bonus.
Yeah.
It's like,
absolutely.
I don't care all work is. I'm going to give you someone. It's that's just tiny. And in comparison, how I know them for real.
Yes.
Of I know who you are in the core.
Absolutely.
Those are hard to find. I mean, that friendship is probably often rooted in history.
Right.
Or it's rooted in I see yous. I feel like we haven't known each other in the scheme of the world.
Right.
Long. But I knew that when I met you, I was like, oh, Bethany's real. I can tell you're real.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That kind of sense of connection. Yeah, I know. It doesn't necessarily have an easy way of defining or articulating it, but it does feel like there are those people and you're just like, we're connecting.
We're similar.
We get
gotta go. Yes. Something is the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
What you were saying also made me think a difference in myself as an adult versus Bethany as a friend younger. I expected that all of my friendships would be the same, whatever that meant. And that to be a friend or to be in a friendship had a very specific universal quality that I was trying to figure out. Now I feel much freer to allow my friendships to be different things.
That's so true.
And that
like
feels,
you show up differently inside the relationship you're in.
Yes.
Not just that you were like, I'm a friend.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's so
and
interesting.
I think too, part of that is being in a partnership with Josh. And as we got married very young. And so there was 22 and 21, Tara.
Woo, dog. Now
Yeah.
Imagine our parents or like our parents' ages or grandparents hearing that and be like, yeah, that's average. It's like, not for us. Not for us.
Well, and it was average in the subculture we were in. We were in like a very Christian-y, culture. But look at this rhythm.
See, then look. Those shiny slippers are.
Oh yeah, you're welcome, Marianne. But when we moved to Chicago, because we were in very small town Indiana when we got married, moved to Chicago, and people said, "You are how old and have been married how long?" And so we've had patches like, whoa,
I need to grow alongside each other like that.
Yeah,
why
exactly.
That's an era.
It's an era. It's an era. But I was raised very much with the expectation that a spouse or a partner or it is to be all the things, that you were to be all the things to one another. And so as I've grown and evolved, I feel like, quite frankly, that's bullshit. None of us can be everything to everyone or even to one singular person, nor should we. I think that might be called codependence in a concerning way.
Yeah, for real.
And so anyhow, I've relearned, and Josh and I have relearned together that what we even mean in our own friendship and connection, but it's also opened me up to have a more expansive understanding of adult friendships and relationships.
That's
that
so smart.
None of us can be all the things even to one another in our friendships. But this person is the person that I talk academia with, and this is the person that if they call at 2 a.m, I will show up. You know, like they're just different. I feel more fluid in my own understanding of how relationships need to be, rather than trying to squeeze each one into a mold that was actually also feeling harmful and exhausting to me.
For real. I mean, like you're touching upon two worlds, which is friendship and relationship driven like pieces too. But I feel like just slightly older than us is like this like Jerry Maguire mentality of like, you complete me.
Yeah.
And I think I also made that part of friendship too. Like it's like, we're only two halves of a thriving one thing. And it's like, grow. Like that is dumb. That's not the thing that I understand the overlap. I understand why you want to Venn diagram with someone, but you should be individual circles.
Absolutely.
And that's same for friends. I feel like you want to bring your full self and not we're only us when we're together is like, ugh, yuck. Like that's not good.
Yes.
Smart. Yeah. How do you suggest softly, the soft advice is bring your full self to something and
bring it
see how to show up?
Come with curiosity and bring your full self.
I love and admire that. Yeah. The sweet way of doing that.
Ooh,
please.
But this is coming up for me. Maybe connect.
Is it hard?
Is
it tough?
Yeah, let's save it for tough.
We're gonna do it now. We're on the mic with Bethany, and it's time for tougher love. So, how do I make friendship, or how do I find friends as an adult? And this is like the harsher side of that.
Some advice, or I don't know if you would even call it advice, but something a friend pointed out to me that feels deeply important to ponder within the self is there is a difference between transparency and authenticity.
Oh, what do you mean by that? I think I get it.
And so when she said that to me, I was agonizing over feeling that I had to share some deep parts of myself. I don't even remember the context of relationship we were discussing, but I do remember that I was feeling like, oh no, I have to tell this person, I have to tell them everything about me. And then, and my friend just kind of stopped me and she said, there's a difference between being authentic and being transparent. And you are asked to be authentic. That does not mean transparent and divulging all of yourself to everyone all the time.
I've never considered this.
Yeah.
I mean, as in words. That's really,
I hadn't either. And it was very important for me, especially because of the environments I grew up in that I just described. And then also just as a me as a person, like having that kind of earnestness to be honest, but recognizing that honesty is authenticity and isn't kind of a...
You don't disclose.
Don't disclose.
That's so interesting. I think as you get older, I feel it sometimes like, how will someone truly know me unless they know me the entirety of my life?
Yeah.
And then you start realizing like, well, I'm not really even, I'm only bits and pieces of the person that I was when I was 8, when I was, when I was 20,
oh my goodness.
26.
Yes.
So it's like, so you start to be like, what should I like let them know? Or sometimes even in partnerships where you're like, I want to tell you everything about everything because I want you to know me and see me fully.
Yeah.
But it's like, is that even really interesting anymore? Like, is it
right
detail I don't even remember?
Right. Absolutely.
So like, yeah, that's a really good way of framing that is like, what is my authentic self? And if history comes up, cool. But like, being who I am now is probably as important.
Yes.
More important.
Well, and all the other pieces are in there somewhere or have been part of the shaping. And so they evolved alongside or have somehow formed and shaped.
Especially with people, like, not to get super deep, but like with trauma or like complicated like histories or identities or whatever that have felt like harder to surmount with alongside a family or a traditional family or abusive cycles or something. It's like,
absolutely,
I don't need them to like have to go through re-traumatizing themselves for me to feel like I know them.
Right.
I'll be able to tell who they are now.
Right. Absolutely.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's like a tough love is, I guess, if you're going to step into friendship, don't worry about disclosing your history to feel like you're worth new friendship and just being who you are now and let them come to you. Here's a hard love that's like on a different tactic or a different like part of it, I guess, a tenet of it is I always think about if you do things you love, my hard love is do the things you love and don't worry about who's there. And if you go do those things, people and you like will also show up. Not that you have to be event based.
Yeah.
But it's more about like the chemical makeup of like, what is this person did the same kind of work or hobby or passion?
Oh, I like that. And I had said earlier something about what drives you, but I like the wording you just used because it feels deeper what you just said. Drive to me feels kind of like almost like productive or something. But what is calling you? Can you follow that calling and trust that whoever's there is there?
Is your people.
Yes.
Or something.
Yes. But in some ways, we can't find our people unless we've allowed ourselves to follow that path that's calling to us.
Yeah. It's like if you show up authentically to your, I'm trying to make it not comedy related because everything is, but it's like if you go to your pottery class and you're like, I've always wanted to take this. I've never done it. I'm a little nervous, but I just want to express myself artistically. It's like everyone in your class is going to be probably there for the same ish reason.
Yes.
Which means they're in the same, either they're like curious, which is always a great friend quality, or they're like, they're feeling a calling to express themselves in a new way, which is also an opening. Like there's like these openings that come with like trying new things.
Yes.
Mean they're also like looking for expansiveness.
Yes. That makes a lot of sense.
Sport and social and go play the ultimate frisbee. It's like, well, the person there is also joining it. So they're looking.
Yes. Agreed.
Have you heard of these like new, there's like new, like I think it's like a corporate-y kind of thing, but it's a social group where you go and you have like intense talks with people in circles and then you see if you want to stay friends. Have you heard about this?
No.
We're like thinking about we don't know enough about, I'm trying not to learn that much about it so that my brain can like parse through it without like copying something. That's all I know. But I was like, I wonder if we could try something like that here where it's like, you could talk to these 8 people for 1 hour. And then at the end of it, it's almost like you speed date a friendship to be like, you're fun to know. You don't even like, you like me, but like, you're fun to know. Yeah. And you like to pick each other. Isn't that wild?
Yes. And it makes me think of something that I don't know if this falls in tough love, easy love, whatever it does, but I used to call it speed dating at parks. When I was, I better clarify that. When I became speed dating at parks, do with it what you want.
Parks.
It's where all the possibilities exist. When I became a parent, I found it very difficult to find friends. And
that's a whole new
it's
way.
a whole other,
A whole new way.
it's like a whole other era. I found it actually, in spite of being in a situation where I was able to choose to become a parent, and I wanted to become a parent, I was rather miserable and had a very, very hard transition into this season of my life.
Of course.
It was so difficult, and I was craving friendships. And I quickly learned that I didn't want to be friends with everyone who was a parent. And so I started,
That's
especially
unique to some people.
Oh,
Like you don't have to be.
no.
Yeah.
There was a brief period. Josh and I kind of laughed about the other people. We took this birthing class and we were like, we're never going to see these jokers again. Then we were so desperate to see any jokers that right after we had Oliver, we're like, it's fine, just tolerate it. It's fine. But then as the kids got a little older and I became a little more confident in my own self as a parent and just my own evolution, I did start what I called speed dating, where I would say, how old's your kid? And
4.
see from that.
Take me through one.
Oh my goodness. How old's yours?
4.
Oh, mine's 3.5. Yeah.
That's great.
We would never talk again, Tara, if that happened to us at the park.
This is boring.
It's boring.
I agree.
It's so
I would
boring.
never do that.
I kid you not, I
Try it
could
again.
tell.
Can I
Yeah.
it
Try a
again?
fun version. Okay.
Right.
See,
It's the same thing.
oh, how old's your kid?
Oh, this little rat scaling, that's 4. Right there. That's 2. That's a little holy chair that is all mine. How about you?
Oh, do you want to be friends forever? Because
like if you're
oh my goodness.
Oh, it's great. I was like,
out. I'm done.
flatline.
I became friends with someone at a park because she laughed with me. It's very important that I say with me, as I was getting annoyed with one of my kids going up the slide backwards, and she was cracking up in a way that I immediately understood.
Co-misery and friendship.
Co-misery.
Lovely, yeah.
I like sense of humor, and we're still friends. We are still friends.
The divine laugh was in there.
The divine
like you get
laugh.
life the same way I get life.
Yes.
That same.
Yes.
I had a unique. This is shout out to the most random person, Leslie. Leslie, if you're listening.
Hey,
to this,
Leslie.
Chicago friend.
Thank you, Leslie.
Old school friend and a very unique dip. I was doing this like kind of interestingly thematic. I was doing this like spirituality hop around in Chicago that every week I try a new thing.
Yeah.
And I did it for like maybe 6 months.
Love that. Oh, that's a long time.
It was,
oh my
it was
goodness,
wild.
Tara.
I'd
Okay.
be like, okay, I'm going to go to this like Buddhist center. I'm going to go to this like Baptist church. I just would like just be like, what's this like for a week? It was fun. And I went to a Buddhist place in Ravenswood. This is all very strange. And I walked in and there were like 6 of us there. You know how it's like kind of like, it was one of those things where it was like a little bit awkward and like there's some delight and like, this is weird. And like, I love it. This is weird, to be honest. Especially the older I get, where it's like, everyone here is dressed in a cape or whatever the thing is, like not me, but I'm like, I'm gonna be open. Like curiosity is key. Why would you get mad at that?
Yeah.
Why would you look at these people?
Oh,
It's
just
I
like,
want you while
you're living your life in your cape. Oh, I love that, Tara.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this was a Buddhist center. They were all very like, I'd say like, the general overarching vibe was like sort of yoga energy. It was like very communal, like floor mats. Everyone's sort of like just walking around, like drinking hot, warm teas and just sort of like communing and talking. And I talked to this one woman who I have not met. She's like around my age. Whatever. We like talk a little bit. We laughed once. We talked for like a minute.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we laughed. We laughed together. And then at the end, she goes, "Do you want to be friends?" And I was like, "Oh my God, you did a thing that I've always wanted to do as an adult, which is ask someone to be friends like a 6-year-old."
Yes.
Because we don't do it. And I was like, yes. And we like laughed so hard. Being like, what are we? Like everyone else was nice. But she was like, then it was like,
yes.
What's your favorite color? Me too. It was like, it had that kind of like energy to it where you feel like excited to meet each other. And it wasn't like, I don't know what word I want to use here. It wasn't too much. It was like, he was impish.
Yes.
But it was playful.
Yes.
That's all there was to it. And I think we kind of were like delighted by each other's energy. And then she's like, "Do you want to be friends?" I was like, "I do want to be friends." And like, I don't think either of us stayed at this place long after that. Like we went another week. But she came to started coming to all my shows. I had like year tickets for her and her husband. And we just became like weird, like pen pals. And I thought, why don't we just do that in a real life? Maybe because we're trying to, for me, I always like to make sure that everyone's like cool enough to be friends with. I mean that in a way that's like, are you aligned
Yeah.
Like the right side of history. Now I feel like there's like this big Rolodex of things to be like, what do you like as a pass?
Oh, it's
ethically from
so many things. Yeah.
So many things. But the joy of childlike friendship is so, I think there is some pathway to it as an adult.
I agree.
Because you can kind of tell what someone's like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you can keep going and excavate. But
yes,
you can still tell right away when it's like, you're like, you get it.
Well, and I love what you said about Leslie, that it wasn't too much. I can like physically feel what you mean by that energy.
Yeah,
it's almost like I describe that feeling as the too much feeling as the morning after a church campfire, where you're like, oh, I said a lot of things in the dark that now I wish I had never spoken out loud. Felt so freeing last night, but today it's too much. It's too much intimacy.
The lights on.
The lights on. Yes.
Yeah, we've said a lot.
So I totally know what you're talking about.
I think it's funny that you described that as an after church feeling, and most people say that's an after hookup feeling.
Oh, but we have a whole other podcast of
someone,
yes,
and then like in the morning you're like, so what do you do? Like, you're
like, well, we share a thing, but also who are we to one another now? I don't know.
What is this?
What do you think? What do I think?
Yeah, that's cool. How it like shared, whatever it is. That's true. It is anything that has like that vulnerability disclosure in some capacity equals what's it like.
Yeah.
24 hours later or whatever the thing is.
Yeah. Hey, that's my tough love to Meg too.
Okay.
It's vulnerable. It's vulnerable and it's hard work, and nobody will know that I'm going to say you, since this is the tough love portion. No one will know that you want to be friends unless you communicate that. No one knows. No one knows.
You know what? That's true, because people don't always think that they have everyone's seeking each other. But not many people are willing or open to being the first person to declare their search of like, to be like, I'm this, I love people, I'm looking for people to hang out with.
Yeah.
Whatever their thing is. It's like putting yourself out there. It is terrifying.
It's a lot of initiation, and it is terrifying.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll look out and find a slide parent at the park or a Leslie who initiates, but not always. Not always.
That's
and
right.
so
are you willing to do that?
Are you willing to do it? Is the hard question.
Okay, that's good. That's good tough love, because it's not that people don't understand that, but it is that we have to consider, like, am I looking or behaving in an available way?
Yep. Also, one of my mother's favorite things to say might be applicable here. Bethany, no one's thinking about you the way you're thinking about you.
That's real.
Which is real. And so Meg, no one's thinking about you the way that you're thinking about you. Which becomes the invitation to say, you got to go for it. And I've actually found this freeing. My mom, I don't know if the intention was to free me or to be like, get a grip on yourself, Bethany. But either energy was probably needed for me. But I found it very freeing that, if nobody is thinking about me the way that I'm thinking about me, that actually gives me a lot of space to consider what I'm looking for and what I want, and to pursue that, and not wait for someone else to initiate or ask or assume that everyone knows I want to do this thing and they just aren't asking. We got to go for it. Get in there.
That's true. Yeah. You think that everyone has your little secret, and that's not it at all. No one has any idea what your motivation is.
Yeah. Tara, I was really sad when they hired Pam's receptionist replacement, not replacement. Well, yeah, she's the replacement. They hired Erin on The Office. Yeah. And I thought, I wanted that job. I had been a receptionist. I loved The Office with my whole heart. Nobody knows I wanted that job. Y'all, I was not even in, I wasn't in the TV show. Tara, I wanted to be considered. I just thought no one even considered me.
No one even considered you. And
how could they? That's the tough love part. No resume, no auditions, no anything.
Allison Jones is looking at you.
No, Allison, if you're listening, it's not too late.
Look for Beth.
Put me in the mix.
Yeah.
I'm not anywhere on anything. So it's good luck. Good luck. It is that same sense of no one knows until you let them know.
Right on. Okay, good. This is great advice. If you had to pick a winner, if you could, of soft or hard, of the things we've talked about, what would you lean towards?
Hard. I'd lean towards hard. Yeah. And I would lean towards hard because I think the fact that Meg is asking this question means Meg is ready for something hard. For Meg's already pondering.
Yeah.
But now something else is needed.
Have you ever played the game Should Could? Do you know?
No.
Okay, so it's an old improv exercise. It's basically like you make people sit in a paired setting and you say, like, you could do this, and you do it for like a minute and you rant with each other. And behaviorally, people will always be kind of like, oh, when they're like thinking and brainstorming. And they're like, now give should advice to each other and mean it. Like, you're not packed out from it. And usually people will be like, well, I actually preferred the should, but I felt more delighted in the could. So it's like, because could feels like possibility. Like, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this, but it's making a call. So everyone stagnates. And if someone's like, you should do this. If someone tells you what you should do, your immediate reception is going to be like, yes. Or it's going to be like, fuck you.
There's a clarity to
like, don't tell them what to do. Yeah. And then they know what they want to do because you've made a declarative statement. So it's like, it's a fun impasse of like, your should advice is like, go do this. And it's like, now she's going to know, like, I think she wanted should advice.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do this. Please help.
Yeah.
Like, you should get out of a burning building.
Yep.
There's no could.
Yep.
So this is a should.
Yeah.
Of like, you should say what you want. You should go do something fun that you'd like to do. And like, call in people. And, this is who I am. This is what I want.
Yep.
Because that's, people will see it and then want to respond.
This is also such an interesting exercise, Tara, because, you know, as we discussed earlier, I wouldn't say struggle, but how about tend toward? I tend toward softer advice.
Me too.
But it felt really good giving the more direct, when you're asked for it, harder advice. Yes.
People ask me for like advice all the time. And I'm like, well, what do you think? Like, I want to make them feel seen. And then I realize, like, by giving every option, they're probably like, scrambled because I've been so
well. And there's mutual trust in that too. Like, let's say with Meg, trusting that Meg is asking because Meg wants to know.
Yeah, Meg wants to know. In this case, Meg's like, give me a doll frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Meg, you're solved. Solved. Hey, Bethany, how can they find you? You're not like a big socials person.
I'm not a big socials person.
You love to do that you just want to share with the world and put it out in the universe. Like, I do this kind of comedy, or I do something you want to tell them about. And it's like your outro.
Oh, yeah. You can find me at the Nest Theater. Heard of it. All right. In Fun and Games, Alphabet Mafia, a new show called Your Life in Song.
Yes.
And so if you just Google me, I write a lot. I write and I preach, and it's like I'm posted there, and I've been doing more creative writing things. So there'll probably be more to come, but yeah.
Okay, cool.
You can find me about and about.
Okay, great. Tough love, easy love. We love ya. Thanks for listening.
Hey!
Bye!
You're listening to a podcast on the Roost Nest Podcasting Network, executive produced by the Nest Theater and Comedy Art Center. Co-founded and funded by Rance Rizzuto and Terry DeFrancisco. Season 1 edited by Adam Ocias. For more information on the Nest Theater, go to nesttheater.com.
Roost
Nest Podcasting.
Oh, Tara! That's so fun! What a fun premise!